So the next one I call pentatonic stacks. And that's where we skip a note in the scale. So we start on the first, skip the second, go to the third, then we go to the second, skip the third, go to the fourth, then we go to the third, skip the fourth, go to the fifth, then to the fourth note, skip the fifth note to the first. So 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 1. And the reason why I call it pentatonic stacks is because they stack up. You could even play the scale that way, use these as double stops. Now I want to give you a special technique tip on this one. It's a finger roll. So when we go from this note to this note, instead of lifting up the finger, we start on the tip and then we roll down to the pad. You see it's a little bit of like a finger roll. Not this, because then they both ring out together. We want them separate, so we just roll the finger. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Cool, right? Triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sixteenth. All right, and again, you want to try that in your separate vertical patterns, whichever ones you're working on, and you could even try it across all 5. But again, the 3 T's: tone, technique, time. Are you able to maintain good technique, play in time with that metronome with good tone? All right, so now let's talk about going vertical. So you're gonna wanna practice your pentatonic scale across single strings. What's great about a single string is it really gives you a sense of the distance between the notes, because it's, you know, it's like playing a theremin. Right? You have to know the exact distances. So if we start on the A, go as far as you can. That's every note on the pentatonic scale in A minor pentatonic. And as you do this, you're gonna get a sense for when do I go 3 frets up and when do I go 2 frets up? Because it's either one or the other. The pentatonic scale, there's no neighboring notes. You're either going a whole step or a step and a half. And you'll get a feel for that naturally the more you do this. Now we could apply the same patterns from before. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1. You want to do that across all the strings. Let's start on this A. Ending on the open A, right? Do that across all the strings. And also when you're practicing improvising, try to create licks on one string. You can get cool slide sounds, you know? So again, you can apply those patterns across the single string. All right, so that brings us to string pairs, and this is a great thing to practice, especially on the first two strings. So earlier we did these pentatonic stacks, and some of them are perfect stacks, like right on top of each other, not off to the side like this one. Well, on the high E string, across the pentatonic scale, we have all perfect stacks except for one, the one that occurs in shape 4. That right there. But watch. 1, 2, here we go. Perfect stack, perfect, imperfect, perfect, perfect, perfect. So we had, this is shape 4 down here, right? So we had the imperfect there. I'm sorry. And here, 1 octave higher. So one way I like to play around with that is do things like this. So here's a couple ways that you could practice that. So one way is to just play the 4 notes that occur in each pattern like this. 2, here we go. Then backwards. So one pattern I really like is to do 2 on one string and then 1 on the next string like this. 1, 2, here we go. Then backwards, 1 on the high E and then 2 on the next one. So then the last thing that we could practice is ways to transition from one area of the pentatonic scale or of the fretboard playing the pentatonic scale to another. And my favorite way to do that is using the 2x2 method, which I made a whole video about, where we just go. So I'm not going to include that in this video. I'm just going to link there and also in the description.